Right, yeah, welcome back. Okay, we are looking at another concept in feature engineering. Last time we looked into the filter method for feature selection. Now we want to look at a wrapper method. So wrapper method evaluates features subsets by training and testing models repeatedly. Right? So that's why it wraps it. So we are going to implement that quickly now and see the difference between the two. Because wrapper method is an improvement over the filter method. Now I'm going to use the same data set we have used before and to test the wrapper method and see how it looks like. So we call our necessary library we need. Apart from the previous one we have called before, we added RFE, RFECF, okay? Then we perform our method. So this is what we have as original data set we had before. So we have our features, which I have explained in the previous video. All right, so now the first method here is called recursive feature elimination. Recursive feature elimination. This particular concept helps us to recursively eliminate some features that are not necessary or not relevant or regard as not important features. All right, and remains only the important ones. All right, so you can see we get selected feature and by ranking. Right, we rank it and we pass it into the function, and it helps us to filter out the one that are not necessary. So we plot the feature ranking diagram also as well, the chart. Okay, so after the selection feature, we have BIMIN, we have BP, we have S1, S2, S5. So this is feature ranking now, feature ranking here. So now we can see here our feature ranking. You can see this is our chart, right? Recursively actually removes least important features, right, and requires specifying number of features to keep, right? Model uses model coefficient or feature importance, all right? So this number of features to select is 5. We choose 5, so you pick 5. You can in this case it allows to specify the number of features to keep. Now you can use more than, you can keep more than 5 in case you have a larger data set. So you can just change this one to maybe to 10. So depend on the number of features you have. So you can change to 20. So but for now we just want to select only 5 features in order to rhyme with the first one we had before. We can make it 6. Okay, so that's just what we have for now. So this is what we got as a result. Now the second method is called RFE. So with cross validation, that's now the same RF we did here. Now we are now adding cross validation to it. Okay, so here we have our robust version of the with automatic feature count selection. So this now is automatic. Now we are not supplying our default value as usual for the way we did for RFE, but now we are allowing the model to automatically filter and pick the feature that are more important by itself. So this is optimal method over the previous method we just used now. So we also plot our cross validation score plot here. You can see here this validation score versus feature count. And so by default, you can see pick down this like elbow method. You can see come down like this. So our feature section is 6 here. Can you see at this point, you can see this elbow method now like coming down like this. So at this point of lining up, you pick the 6th one. So by now, we can see that this method, you can see when we pick we have the optimal number of features 6. It's 6 by 6. So we can see them here: 6, B, M, I, BP, S1, S2, S3. So these are the 6 now, and then you can see that the way it picks here. So it automatically finds the optimal number of features by itself. It is more computational expensive but robust. Okay, it uses first validation to evaluate feature subsets and present the result to us. So these are what we have. So, and the third method is called sequential feature selection. Okay, this one operates in sequence, and it also requires to supply key features. All right. So it has what they call backward elimination and forward elimination as well. So the result for elimination give us this 5, and the backward elimination give us this 5. You can see there are similarity between them. Can you see? So apart from the S1 that's not in this one, you can see that. So that is the difference that we have here. So, but this one is giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 features. So the first selection starts empty, hard best features. Start empty but hard best feature. While backward elimination start full, removes worst features. You can see the difference between the two. So the difference between forward selection is that it starts empty with nothing, but it now has best features. Okay, automatically eliminating the worst one, while the back feature start full, the old features, and gradually removes the worst features, and retain only the best performing features. So this can actually handle non-linear relationship better than the RFE we used before. All right. So in comparing the model here, we can see that the model is compared when you have all features. We have R square 0.482, and we have RFE 0.488, and we have RFE selector, we have 0.491. So 0.491 performed better than the rest of them. So other methods are automatically intensive, computationally intensive, best for small to medium data sets. Maybe number of features is less than 50. Okay, and provide more accurate selection than filter methods. And typically, selection feature we had, it was BMI, body mass index. We have a body serum measurement. We also have a blood pressure. This S5. We have S1 to S6, which we pick few of them among them. Okay, so you can see it's only so far we have only S1 and S5 and S3 that repeatedly pick themselves. As I repeated, S1, S5, S3, S1, S5, S3. So you can eliminate any one of them if you don't want by testing your machine learning model that you want to use. Then the advantage of our filter method is that if consider feature interactions, while the previous one we did before, that filter method does not consider feature interactions. It uses actual model performance for selection, and it can handle nonlinear relationship with appropriate model, which we supplied just now, and typically yields better performance in feature subset. So this is difference from the first one we used before, which is a filter method, and it's a little bit improvement over filter method. So that is what we have for now. Basically, you can plug in a data set that you have and try to see using the both filter and wrapper method, and see what we have, what you're able to achieve. If your data is consistent like this ones, then you can now know that you have a stable data set that you can use for your machine learning model. So that should be good enough for us. Then in the next class, we will see a better improved method over this particular one called wrapper method. So which is called embedded method. So we're going to see that in the next class. And I want to thank you for watching, for listening. You can like, you can share, you can also comment if you want, and you can also subscribe if you are not yet. I will see you in the next class. Thank you so much, and bye for now.